Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. In the first Jammu and Kashmir visit after the polls, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate developmental projects in the valley today and also to lead the 10th Yoga Day celebrations in Srinagar. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar arrives in Sri Lanka. Visit to add momentum to connectivity projects and other mutually beneficial cooperation across many sectors. After concluding a defense pact with North Korea, Russian President Vladimir Putin touches down in Vietnam for final stop in his two-nation Asia tour. Unrelenting heat wave smashes records across the globe. 80 million people in US under a heat advisory as New York opens schooling centers. Over 550 died during Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. In his first visit to Jammu and Kashmir after assuming office for the third term, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Srinagar on Thursday. During his two-day visit to the Union Territory, Prime Minister will participate in Empowering Youth, Transforming Jammu and Kashmir event in Srinagar on Thursday evening. He will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects in Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister will also launch Competitiveness Improvement in Agriculture and Allied Sectors project. Prime Minister during his visit will also distribute appointment letters to more than 2,000 youth for different government services. On the second day of his visit, Prime Minister will participate in the 10th International Day of Yoga event in Srinagar. He will also address the gathering on the occasion and take part in the common yoga protocol session thereafter. Jessica Taneja joins us from Srinagar. Jessica, good afternoon. We've just given a broad outline of the Prime Minister's programs in Jammu and Kashmir. Today, he will be inaugurating a number of developmental projects. Let us get more as to how is the day planned ahead with regard to Prime Minister's visit today in Jammu and Kashmir.
But we are at SKICC where the Prime Minister is scheduled to arrive at 6 p.m. in the evening today. Preeti, his first visit to Jammu and Kashmir since his election as the Prime Minister, for the third time. And here at SKICC this evening, he will be speaking to various youth from Kashmir and laying foundation stones for various development projects. One that includes an approximate 1,800 crore investment, which is to enhance the agriculture sector. And there are 80 other projects that would see funds to the tune of 1,500 crore rupees. Not to forget, 6 government degree colleges will also be greenlit this evening, and the Prime Minister will be handing out employment certificates to over 2,000 people who would be employed with the government services, etc. So a lot of push for the economy here in Jammu and Kashmir as Srinagar awaits the Prime Minister, and tomorrow, of course, the big event, which is the International Yoga Day, will see the presence of Prime Minister early morning.
All right, Jessica, also very quickly get us a sense of the security arrangements or the security preparedness that has been put in place.
That's correct, Preeti. The special security forces are right here at the SKICC center. Also, we are told that the SPG, around 150 of them, are inside the venue where the Prime Minister will be at 6 p.m. in the evening. The routes have been thoroughly sanitized towards this center where the events are planned for the Prime Minister both today and tomorrow. No drones can also fly in this restricted area. Traffic is being managed by the special security forces and making sure that there is no security protocol breach throughout the 2 days of the event that the Prime Minister will be attending. So, of course, the focus has been on security. Also, this morning, 2 terrorists were neutralized in the Sopore sector. So there has been security beef up, and that is a massive one in Srinagar, where every 10 feet you will be able to see forces stationed, making sure that nothing goes amiss in Srinagar for the next 2 days.
All right, that was about the security arrangements, but also, Jessica, behind you, I see a backdrop of the 10th International Day of Yoga. Let us get more from you as to what are you witnessing around you, the excitement of the youth, of the people there, how will they participate? What is it that they're looking forward to with regard to Prime Minister's participation in the event tomorrow, and also the 10th International Day of Yoga being celebrated in Srinagar?
That's correct. It's significant that the Prime Minister chose Srinagar on the banks of Dal Lake, which we will take you in some time as we move out from this center. That's an iconic location, and we're expecting a lot of youths who come and participate with the Prime Minister, practicing yoga tomorrow. Remember, showcasing India's soft power to the world. Yoga 10 years ago was officially announced as an International Yoga Day on the 21st, which will be celebrated tomorrow. So a lot of activity here. We've seen the park in Srinagar as well, where we've seen a lot of people come out and do yoga early morning, and that trend will continue at 6 in the morning, where we'll see the Prime Minister with 1,000 participants who will be with him while the world then celebrates the International Yoga Day here in Srinagar on the backdrop of the picturesque Dal Lake.
All right, Jessica, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining in with those details. And India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has reached Colombo today as part of his official visit to Sri Lanka. During the visit, Dr. S. Jaishankar will have meetings with leadership of Sri Lanka on wide-ranging issues of mutual partnership. This will be his first bilateral visit after the formation of the new government under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Reaffirming India's neighbourhood-first policy, the visit underlines India's continued commitment to Sri Lanka as its closest maritime neighbour and time-tested friend. This visit will add momentum to connectivity projects and other mutually beneficial cooperation areas across different sectors. In a tragic incident, at least 32 people have died and several were hospitalized after they allegedly consumed illicit liquor in Kallakurichi district in southern state of Tamil Nadu. After Wednesday's incident triggered a major uproar, the government rushed specialized medical teams to the hospitals. The incident comes just a year after 22 people died in twin hooch tragedies in Viluppuram and Chengalpattu districts. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has appointed an inquiry commission headed by a retired judge to investigate the illicit liquor tragedy. A major breakthrough has been achieved in the case pertaining to the terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi on the pilgrim bus on June 9th. One terror associate has been arrested by Jammu and Kashmir police at Riyasi. This person was involved in harboring the terrorists multiple times. The arrested person is a prime militant associate who helped the terrorists in execution of the attack. Further interrogation and investigation of the case is going on. Indian Army has successfully rescued 150 tourists from Sikkim. India's Defence Ministry spokesperson in a social media post said that the last group of 150 tourists was successfully rescued from North Sikkim on 19th of June, despite incessant rainfall and inclement weather. Troops from Tri-Shakti Corps of the Indian Army, along with civil administration, undertook the rescue of over 1,200 stranded tourists from rain-hit region of North Sikkim since June 12th. Due to incessant rainfall and landslides at a number of places, evacuation of the stranded tourists could begin only on the 17th of June. The tourists had to cross the sites of the landslides on foot and travel in vehicles on stretches in between wherever road connectivity existed. Indian Army, braving landslides and tough terrain, ensured the safety of stranded tourists and provided them with medical care. With heat strokes claiming lives and reservoirs turning dry, extreme hot weather has been taking a heavy toll across the globe. We get to more details in our next report.
Extreme heat wave has taken a deadly turn in countries across the world. In Saudi Arabia, hundreds, including 50 Indians, have died during the Hajj pilgrimage. Physical exertion and open spaces have made pilgrims more vulnerable to heat strokes. In the Indian capital of New Delhi, at least 5 people died of heat stroke in the last 2 days.
Recently, we have had a huge influx of about 22 patients with heat wave related illnesses. Of the 22, 5 people have died due to suspected heat stroke. Of the remaining patients, 12 to 13 are on ventilators and are still critical.
On Tuesday, nighttime temperature in Delhi soared to a record high of 33.8 degrees. In China's Shandong province, water level in a major reservoir has hit a historic low, taking a toll on farmers living nearby. In the US, more than 80 million people are under heat wave advisory. Cities like New York have been opening water parks early as residents seek ways to beat the heat.
Just try to do whatever you can to stay out the heat wave. We have free water centers everywhere.
In some parts of the US, like the New Mexico state, extreme heat has led to dry condition aiding the spread of wildfire. The disaster has claimed at least 2 lives. In the Greek capital of Athens, volunteers battled wildfire amid unprecedented high temperatures. While in Italy, tourism has been hit as people choose to stay indoors to escape extreme hot weather. Bureau Report, DD India.
And now we get you all the updates from the 18th edition of Mumbai International Film Festival. It's the penultimate day of the 18th edition of the Mumbai International Film Festival today. The day will witness several panel discussions and masterclass, including the one addressed by Ollie Huddleston, who is an award-winning film editor with 30 years of experience. Other sessions are dissemination of shots, penetration, reach and exposure, and from script to screen, the challenges and triumphs of international co-production. We're heading for a short break. You're watching DD India Live. After the break, as tension escalates in South China Sea, peace could not be achieved if China's words did not match its behavior in the disputed water, says Philippines. In sports, India face Afghan challenge today in the Super 8 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Stay with us for a special report on yoga ahead of the International Day of Yoga on 21st of June.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India Live. After concluding a defense pact with North Korea, Russian President Vladimir Putin touched down in Vietnam early on Thursday for talks with the country's communist leaders on the final stop of his 2-nation tour of Asia. Vietnam, which officially pursues a neutral foreign policy it calls bamboo diplomacy in its relations with world powers, has abstained from condemning Russia's attack on Ukraine, a stance that Western countries view as too close to the Kremlin. Although both North Korea and Russia face international isolation, Vietnam has built careful alliances with the United States and the European Union. The Southeast Asian country will be the 3rd nation Putin has visited after China and North Korea since he was sworn in for a 5th term in May. DD India correspondent Laura Westbrook gets us more.
Vladimir Putin is touched down in Hanoi and he's in Vietnam for just 24 hours. He's expected to participate in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, and he's going to be meeting with officials such as the Communist Party chief and the Vietnamese president. Their talks are expected to focus on deepening the strategic relationship And trade is also expected to be very high on the agenda. Vietnam is one of Asia's fastest growing economies, and Russia is looking to pivot towards Asian markets away from European markets. This is following its invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Vietnam has deep historical and military ties to Russia. These go back to the Vietnam War, as well as both countries having communist roots. And so Vietnam is also said that its stance on the Ukraine war is officially neutral and has so far refrained from sending arms to Russia, and so really is one of Russia's few friends in the region. But this visit has also drawn a strong rebuke from the United States. It's released a statement via its embassy saying that no country should give Putin a platform to promote its war of aggression. It says that by normalizing travel by Vladimir Putin freely, that this would only normalize Russia's violations of international law.
And now we get to latest on the tension that escalated between China and Philippines over the South China Sea. The Philippines urged China to avoid actions that endangered sailors and vessels in the South China Sea, saying peace could not be achieved if China's words did not match its behavior in the disputed waters. The Philippine Foreign Ministry denounced as illegal and aggressive China's actions during a routine resupply mission on June 17th, which the Philippine military said had severely injured a Navy sailor and damaged Manila's vessels. Meanwhile, China's Coast Guard disputed the statement, saying Manila's vessel deliberately and dangerously approached a Chinese ship in an unprofessional manner, forcing it to take control measures, including boarding inspections and forced evictions. 3 opinion polls on Wednesday predicted a record defeat for British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Conservatives at a July 4th election, forecasting the Labour Party would comfortably win a large majority after 14 years in opposition. Polling forecasts showed Keir Starmer's Labour Party was on track to win 425 parliamentary seats in Britain's 650-strong House of Commons, the most in its history. Savanta predicted 516 seats for Labour, and More in Common gave it 406. The 3 polls were so-called multi-level regression and post-stratification surveys, an approach that uses voters' age, gender, education and other variables to predict results in every British voting district. Pollsters used the method to successfully predict the 2017 British election result. In Ecuador, power was nearly fully restored in the South American nation on Wednesday afternoon after a nationwide electricity outage struck residential users, hospitals as well as the capital's subway system. The outage left the nation of some 18 million in the dark. Wednesday's outage also caused dangerous driving conditions for scores of motorists as traffic lights ceased to work. Operations of Quito's subway were also interrupted for several hours. Ecuador's Public Works Minister Roberto Luque blamed the outage on the lack of investment in electrical systems. In April, Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa declared an energy emergency and announced planned electricity cuts. While the South American country has struggled with drought affecting hydroelectricity power generation, heavy rains over the weekend forced authorities to take 3 hydroelectric plants offline. Let's take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the globe now. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un gave a pair of Pansang hunting dogs to Russian President Vladimir Putin as a gift after their summit talks in Pyongyang. Kim and Putin also rode together the Aurus luxury limousine, a gift from Putin to Kim around the Garden Driveway. This was the second Aurus car gifted by Putin after the first one gifted to Kim during his visit to Russia in February. Two beluga whales rescued successfully from the Nemo Dolphinarium in Kharkiv in Ukraine. Beluga whales, Plombir and Miranda, were evacuated and transferred to Spain by road and plane in a high-risk operation. Since Russia attacked Ukraine in 2022, the Nemo Dolphinarium has evacuated several seals, sea lions and dolphins, but evacuating the belugas required months of preparations due to their size. An extincting fish species, Atlantic sturgeon, were put back to Swedish waters nearly after 100 years after they died out in the region. Scientists equipped sturgeons with tracking devices to study their movement, behavior and survival rates. Now, this data will be crucial in understanding how well they are adapting to their new environment. A 74-year-old surfer and master of classical Japanese dance turned a breakdancer. Tanaka's newfound love for breakdancing has brought a fresh vibrancy to her life. The old classical Japanese dancer performs tough hip-hop steps like a pro. At 74 years old, Tanaka has proved that age is no barrier to new passions. And the International Day of Yoga will be celebrated on 21st of June. We get you a special report on this now. Ahead of the 10th International Yoga Day, celebrated by the Indian Embassy in the US at the picturesque and serene wharf in Washington, various community organizations participated enthusiastically in the yoga and meditation session. Highlighting this year's theme, celebrating yoga for self and society, the event included elements to inspire embrace of environment-friendly products and practices in daily life. Bangladesh is buzzing with activity to observe the 10th International Day of Yoga on Tuesday, that is 21st of June. 21st of June, yoga organizations, that is on Friday, yoga organizations, clubs and yoga enthusiasts have made elaborate plans for the Yoga Day tomorrow. Dhaka, Chattogram, Rajshahi, Khulna, Sylhet and several other cities in the country are holding Yoga Day programs on June 21st to celebrate the occasion. The High Commission of India will hold the program at Mirpur Indoor Stadium in Dhaka. The High Commission of India has roped in Yoga Associations of Bangladesh to take part in the Yoga Day program. More than 1,000 yoga enthusiasts are expected to take part in the main event in Dhaka. Ahead of the International Yoga Day, India's Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports organized Yoga Mahotsav 2024 at Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. The event is to embrace yoga for self and society. International Day of Yoga's 2024 theme, that is Yoga for Self and Society, underscores the holistic benefits of yoga, not just for an individual, but for the society as a whole. DD India's Tripti Tripathi highlights the present government's initiatives to make yoga popular globally.
Over the last decade, Modi government has championed yoga on both national and international stages. The recognition of June 21st as International Yoga Day by the United Nations in 2014 was a significant achievement for India. Yoga has become a symbol of India's ancient wisdom and spiritual heritage, fostering goodwill across borders. In 2023, Guinness World Record was created for most nationalities in a yoga session at the Yoga Day event led by PM Narendra Modi in New York. Another record was created in Surat with 1.53 lakh participants celebrating International Yoga Day. Domestically, the creation of the Ministry of Ayush in 2014 marked a significant step in mainstreaming yoga. This ministry has launched initiatives like Namaste Yoga app, making yoga resources accessible to all. The new Education Policy 2020 also integrates yoga into the school curriculum. Recognized as a sports discipline, yoga is now taught in many universities.
Government of India is also propagating yoga through generation of evidences, effect of yoga on health. For example, in EAMS Delhi there is a Center for Integrative Medicine Research which is supported by Ministry of Ayush. So that center is doing a lot of research on yoga. NIMANS is doing a lot of research on yoga. There are global institutions, NIH, USA is doing a lot of research on yoga. So basically, large-scale evidence generation is also another aspect where we bring yoga into the lives of the people, and that is happening.
Programs like Har Angan Yoga promote yoga at the grassroots level and in workplaces. Initiatives such as Yoga Bharat Mala, Yoga Sagar Mala and Yoga My Pride photography contest further elevates yoga's presence. Ministry of Ayush in collaboration with MyGov has also launched Yoga 2024 quiz based on past International Day of Yoga celebrations. Each participant of the quiz will be rewarded with an e-certificate. Another initiative includes Prime Minister's Award for Yoga that honors significant contributions to the promotion and development of yoga. For International Day of Yoga 2024, the Ministry of Ayush, along with the Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, is leading the 100 Days, 100 Cities and the 100 Organizations campaign. This initiative involves mass yoga demonstrations and sessions.
From fostering physical well-being to enhancing India's cultural diplomacy, yoga continues to unite and empower millions across the globe. Prasar Bharati for DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with the bipartisan US Congressional delegation led by US Congressman Michael McCaul in New Delhi. The delegation comprises of the chairman of the US House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Michael McCaul, former US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The delegation was in India to meet the Dalai Lama in Dharamshala. Let's get to updates from the world of sports now. India will face Afghanistan in their first Super 8 match at Kensington Oval in Bridgetown in Barbados on Thursday. India finished on top of Group A after winning 3 out of their 4 matches in the group stage ahead of co-host US. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on your screens to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.